But yes, this can be used with HARP or any radar is not just a detection system, it's a transmission system as well. You're transmitting electromagnetic waves. And phase conjugation, taking those waves and getting them to equalize out, this is how they're able to produce like a gravity or scalar potential. I'll have Tom Bearden explain it for you guys. And once again, a lot of this is just a matter of like just looking through the videos that are available online about a lot of these guys. So here you go.
I won't dwell on this. I will simply state that all that a mass is anyway, a particle of mass, is in fact a trapped scalar resonance. I'm going to give you a quick once-over about scalar resonance and we'll go on. Take a normal resonance system with a wave moving back and forth in a cavity so that it's in phase and coherent. Suppose that there were two waves moving along together, but the second wave, the electric and magnetic field, were 180 out from the first one. That's a scalar resonance system. Your normal instrument won't even see it. We can build special detectors and have that will see it. That's all a mass is, but you can make a current of that kind of resonance, and you can pipe that current down a wire, or you can add to that resonance in a system, or you can take it away. What did I say? I said you can pump the mass and inertia directly into an object and increase it, or you can pump it out of there. And if you pump all of it out of there, it'll dematerialize on you. And the statements I am making are based in part on experimental evidence in the laboratory. Private, proprietary laboratories.
Do you see why people are excited about Tom Bearden? So Tom Bearden's basically saying you can take two beams, two scalar beams, and you can just use like a crystal, a metamaterial crystal, to produce a scalar beam from a laser and have these beams intersect at a distance. And then you can pull energy out of a distant point, or you can make energy appear at a distant point. So you can cause either an explosion or a cold explosion, as Tom Bearden will say. A cold explosion would be an absorption of energy, not a release of energy, an absorption. So yes, exothermic mode or endothermic mode. What he's saying there is there are two different modes of how this can operate. You can either pull energy out of a location at a distance, or you can make it appear. And if you pull that energy out of one location, it's got to go somewhere else.
You are no longer confined to the speed of light at all. If you're clever, you can get almost any velocity you want to, whether it's slower than the speed of light or faster. Tesla reported speeds of 50 times the speed of light. I have personally participated in an experiment which kicked out an electromagnetic wave of this type at 8 times the speed of light. And indeed, when you interfere this wave, you break up the coherence of the substructure. They now no longer sum to zero, and guess what that gives you? It gives you a non-zero vector in the E field and the B field out there. Real energy now appears at a distance out there.
How has this not been tested more? How has this not been tested more? I mean, this seems like an easy thing to test, right? You're taking two scalar transmitters. That's what you're seeing over here on this side of the screen. Scalar transmitter 1 and 2. There's no electromagnetic wave coming off of them. And when you intersect them in the middle point, they produce an interference pattern. This interference pattern causes the electric and magnetic fields to reappear, just like any interference pattern in two waves would. You have destructive and constructive interference, and now you're going to see this interaction in the intermediate zone here. This is 1985, guys. This video is from 1985.
Two transmitters, or two-wave projectors, and yet what's in the middle is not energy flow in the normal sense that we transmit an ordinary electromagnetic wave. It's really an artificial potential. The closest thing we have to calling it is an electrostatic wave. A more accurate description is it is a direct wave in the curvature of space-time itself. It's a general relativistic wave or a gravitational wave. So if we have two projectors, and these might be two modified radar antenna, and we intersect them at a distance, we can produce energy at a distance. And that energy arises in the space-time of that intersection zone. It doesn't matter if that's inside a mountain or inside a missile or inside an airplane or inside a human body. If I lower the potential of my projectors below zero, in other words, I make negative potentials, and pretty strong negative, what happens in the intersection zone is not the appearance of energy, but the disappearance of energy. When I bend space-time, if I bend it in one fashion, the local region looks like a source. It looks like it's producing energy. If I bend it the other way, it looks like a sink. It looks like energy is disappearing. This is real. This is general relativity. What really happens is I either put the energy in here and get it out there, or I take it out from there and I get it back here and I better dump it or I'll burn out my projectors.